LAPD is continuously engaging in flying. These are demons that are just doing laps, going dizzy, flying over my apartment in helicopter while they are monitoring what I'm doing on the video of the internet as well. It is currently, I want to get the current time. It is 2:28 p.m. So I want to capture on to see if, all right, they're flying off to the side where I can't see them on video. All right, so the entity is engaged in ongoing amplification of the audible activity and also sensational activity creation. That is your apartment vibrating and shaking while you are necessarily hovering above the apartment building that you're flying over. This is also occurring when the entity is flying adjacent, when the entity is flying at a distance, as I demonstrate on a plethora of occasions. When I'm walking outside and you're looking at the helicopter that's at a great distance, and it's impossible that the volume would be at such a level that it would be a disruption while I'm in the workplace, in my office. That is the demonic behavioral pattern of targeting with the audible activity when you are stalking in the path in the specific environment. And LAPD is continuously engaging in that. I'm going to continue. Right now it is 2:29 p.m. The entity is engaging. I'm going to take a picture because it's more than just 2:29. I'm maintaining a list on my phone every time they're literally flying over, monitoring in concert with the people. So I just want to make sure you continue to see the names of the people of the state that live at Alvarado Gardens who are simultaneously being documented, engaged in ongoing systematic surveillance and terrorism. The entity that's flying over repeatedly over my apartment, they're group stalking and engaging in terrorism and harassment as an entity that's engaging in state surveillance and federal stalking in concert with every single last third party whose name you see, who are living at the crime scene, engaging in that criminal system, that psychotic stalking system, which is also surveillance on the venue of the internet. And all of whom are going to face with what all 59 units are filled with third parties. And that's why you have this ongoing documented pattern of the entity stalking via law enforcement and in the specific environment. And they are not monitoring by themselves, but they are living at the crime scene. And that is the intolerable level of what is criminal surveillance. This ceaseless, systematic criminal surveillance in concert with the state of California, that's the grounds of federal prison, okay? And this is the grounds of what are mental examinations for the demon possessed who are engaging in the pacing conduct, as you see while I'm capturing the people of the state, looking to the left and the right while they're surrounded by the engineered light, while you're looking at the peculiar light activity that's always around, while you're looking at the ongoing evidence of what is the light source that's rising and setting at the same address, while it is at any time of day maintaining presence at the environment that's never the sun. That's a matter of documentation. So that is the ongoing evidence, which is showing the ongoing criminal system 24 hours a day. In addition to what is the shadow, that is literally, it's your shadow activity when walking outside. It's like a gang is standing around you because your shadow is physically surrounding your person. This is the environment where the entity is obsessively stalking, flying over my apartment, paying special attention. The entity is group stalking in concert with LAPD as I continuously note this. It is again 2:31 p.m. The entity is again monitoring on my communication device. So I have a new communication device and I want to document while I'm on the website for the California Department of Motor Vehicles. The entity is engaged in federal stalking. Everything that I am, all of my business, my driver's license, all this information that I'm inputting with regard to my phone number, all of your identifying information that you have to put in order to access the website on the California Department of Motor Vehicles, the state of California, the people of the state, all of them. And that includes those in relevant position, those that are pacing around in relevant position. The entity, the state, is the population that are the people of the state that are engaging in massive group stalking, are engaged in federal stalking. This is massive surveillance with communication devices on the venue of the internet. And that personal information, which on the website, I took screenshots of the so-called privacy policy practiced by the state of California, the Department of Motor Vehicles, where I have captured the specific criminal system underway while the people of the state are group stalking inside of those state facilitating, those government venues where the light source that would never be ever present outside of my window, rising or setting or over my head at any time of the day with its documented presence over me at the Rancho Cucamonga Department of Motor Vehicles, at the Fontana Department of Motor Vehicles, as I documented. This is with San Bernardino County, by the way. San Bernardino County is the entity, that's the state that drove me to the California Department of Motor Vehicles, which is a state facilitating venue where I'm capturing the light source over my head. I'm capturing the same exact P.O.C. on the website, on the internet, the California Department of Motor Vehicles, which is the state of California, is also engaged in federal stalking. This is state surveillance. This is, by the way, inherently violating their so-called privacy policies. While the California Department of Motor Vehicles is not an innocent bystander to what the state is engaging in, it is a state facilitating venue, both in relevant position, as I've documented, and also on the venue of the internet. They are engaged in state surveillance. There is no true privacy policy. This is an ongoing fallacy with regard to the absence of private information and privacy with regard to the state surveillance system that's underway in California that I'm documenting. And that's captured in still images. So any and everywhere, any appointment that I make to go to a DMV, my presence at DMV, I'm surrounded by nothing other than the people of the state that are group stalking at a government building, engaging in the same exact obsessive stalking that the LAPD is demonstrating on behalf of the entity. Okay, flying over my apartment again. It's 2:33 p.m. I'm going to capture images because this is ongoing documentation of what is doing demons that are doing nothing other than just doing laps, pacing back and forth, flying all around my apartment all day long, while the people of the state are engaged in that ongoing concerted conduct. So Kenneth Cummings, a documented group stalker, monitoring in concert with his children, is going to federal prison. Is a part of the entity that physically removed themselves from the crime scene, living at the apartment complex, still remains a part of the entity that's group stalking. And I want to be clear, the entity, each and every time that you are documenting the group stalking conduct by the state acting directly, you are documenting the group stalking conduct by the state indirectly, vicariously, that is. And this includes the people of the state that are living on the grounds. And as Kenneth Cummings and his wife, Chelsea Cummings, and let me be clear, even their children are group stalkers in the specific environment, and that's why you lose custody of your children. And this is criminal conduct committed by a state, and the state's not doing it by themselves. And this is going for all of those living on Lobdell Place, on Effie Street, on Avalon, on all the side streets over here where the entity is doing nothing other than remaining relevant position, monitoring with the government that's using a helicopter to engage in state surveillance of an American citizen that's documenting it inside of my private space, which is a sex offense committed by that entity. And it is the direct evidence that's going to be used against every single last one that is facing that federal prosecution. It's evidence against the whole entity. Okay, the state is monitoring with the people. The people are going to be prosecuted for what its co-conspirator, the state of California, is engaging in. Inevitably with them. That's why you have the documented maintenance of an entirely impossible environment. The directed light inside of my apartment, the light source that's rising and setting through my apartment, remaining over my head for the duration of the day. That pattern of conduct continues, wherein by the way, the demonic imitation of the natural environment is present at all times, even when the entity is engaging in what is still the exercise of a demonic environment, covering up its light source, which remains over me for the duration of the day. And at any point of the day, like I documented yesterday after 5 p.m., it remains equally impossible because the entity has already engaged in what is rising the so-called sun here. The sun is never going to be present at the same property, aiming in any way to be creating my shadow, sunlight all over the same location, the same property, the same vicinity, the same area at 5 o'clock in the evening. That's capturing the P.O.C, which is relevant where it's supposedly a cloudy day on the next day and the next week and the next month. That's called the P.O.C. It is currently 2:36 p.m.